back to the Sportsman, joined by our very own Benjamin, aka the Jets, and our ticketless big ticket. Welcome on to the Sportsman. Come one, come all. Let's have a hell of a podcast here, gentlemen. I'm just going to throw the cat is out of the bag early and often because I'll say something, okay? I believe Mikey V put a post up, and the first thing that I was reading through the comments, there were multiple people commenting, where is the big ticket? Did Ticket not receive his ticket? Was there some kind of like, he was promised a ticket, did he not get one? So I think, and I don't mean to like, I normally would let dead dogs lie, but that being said, I think it's only fair to discuss what happened.
Sleeping dogs lie, but
Sleeping dogs lie. That's neither here nor there.
dead, sleeping, whatever.
The bottom line is we need to know, we need a rundown, and I'd like first Mikey V to go through it on his end, and then the big ticket to
Well, hang tight.
Right.
Everyone's waiting to see what between me and Mikey V what happened. And to be honest, for everyone listening, me and Mikey V have not said one word to each other. Outside of
Look at Mikey V. Look at him.
We haven't said what.
Oh,
Mikey
he was
V said
furious.
one word to each other. Not a single one.
I wasn't furious. I wasn't furious.
We both
was
knew-
enraged.
I would say
both
surprised.
knew it was coming. But before we get started, we will get into that. That will be the first thing that we talk about. But before that, I want to know what Benjamin thinks about the all white Q-zip row back that Mikey V has on. Is that one of the freshest Q-zips you've ever seen?
Listen,
Outside of Breezy's.
Mikey V is an impressive guy. So I mean, I forgot we met one time
they're
in
buttering him up
at the that'll go in on him in a little bit, but we met at the original Patreon happy hour, and Mikey V is an impressive guy, and I the white rowback is super impressive. You can get it at breezygolf.com. It's nice and it's clean. It's clean. I would call it clean.
It's clean. It's definitely clean. It's clean, and it is so great to see Jet and so great to see Ticket. That was the most underrated part of the whole weekend, really, was being able to see Jet and Ticket, because, you know, I haven't seen them in, I've never met Ticket in person. Jet, I haven't seen since January of I guess that was January of 21, I want to say.
Yeah.
Jet. That was like 2 years ago, almost. Over 2 years ago, no? I want to say.
Was it 21 or 22?
I don't know.
22. When you guys did Billy's with Gannon, that was 22.
No, I wasn't there.
No, there was no
original
Billies. It was
Patreon.
just NFL playoffs. It was the first Patreon meetup. I honestly think it was January of 21.
But that was that.
and Luda Lose.
That was at Luna Lose. That was still Lose.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey V. We haven't spoken at all. You say you're not mad
On purpose. No, I'm not. I just didn't want to have any discussions with you before the show. I thought that would be cheating the audience.
The amount of
Time to air the dirty laundry.
The amount of text that I got from Benjamin, from our buddy Teddy, from Joe, from countless other people saying, Bear Down's going to rip you apart. Bear Down's going to rip you apart. And I know you were pissed. It was all for the show. But listen, man, the second you got me that ticket after I made that stank, I knew I wasn't coming.
That's fucking wild. Man.
Oh my goodness.
That's just fucking wild.
Why would you not come, Tick? I don't understand why you would make such a big stink about it.
Well,
get the ticket and then not show up.
There's the real reason and there's the show reason. Listen.
Well, what's the real reason?
The real reason was I was editing your show and I was editing the Brilliantly Dumb show. I went home. I had to drag all your I dragged the podcast equipment all the way to Nutley, New Jersey. I dragged it all the way back to Manhattan, and I was fucking tired. I took a 2-hour fucking Uber to 5. I was fucking tired. Now, the show reason is I made a big stink, and I just knew I was never coming to that fucking game. I knew I was never coming to that fucking game.
Jet, by the way, called it early on. He goes, it's plus 5,000 that tickets actually showing up. This is when we were at Billy's.
So Jet obviously knew. Jet knew.
No, I didn't know. I was no. I was not surprised. I was under the impression he really wanted to go to the game. I knew that if he took all the shit back to the city. I didn't know that he knew the whole time he was never going to go. I knew if he took the shit back to the city and he sat in traffic, he was going to be like, I ain't coming back. So once he left, I was like, we might be in trouble here. And I was kind of surprised, to be honest, but I understood it.
And by the way, Jet said that his over under was 4 innings and he stayed the course of the game. Big shout out to the Jet.
Jet was fine. Jet was fine.
We had a good time. Billy's was amazing. Bus was amazing.
Who wasn't fine, Mikey V? Who wasn't fine? Jet was fine. Who wasn't fine?
Tick was not fine.
Tick, you were more than fine at Luna. I was like, Ticket's ordering a Philly cheese sandwich. He's living his life. He's living his best life. He seems great. He seems well. And then the minutes just ticked by, no pun intended, with no sight of you at the Yankee game. And I was just like, this guy, after all this ball busting and all this controversy, is just
that's the thing.
No show it.
If he had not shown up without the ball busting,
I did not comment or reply to any comments about where is Ticket, what happened to Ticket, why did Ticket take the picture for this. Where's Ticket? I refused to reply to any of it before I spoke to you face to face, Ticket. And just to tell you flat out that this was one of the more preposterous moves I've ever seen pulled in the history of any friendship ever. I'm not even mad, honestly. I'm not mad because it's not like he didn't pay for the ticket. It's not like he stuck me with the ticket.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's just one of the more ludicrous things I've ever seen. But you know what? There's a lot of showmanship in it, and there's a lot of, you know what? I think there's a lot of value to the play. I think it just creates a crazy controversy. I think that this is a good talking point.
By the way, the trade-off of Ticket bringing the podcast equipment for us to get a live pod from Luna Lose is far greater than if he had not brought the pod equipment and gone to the game.
Well, I don't know what that says about the ticket, but I will say,
I don't know what that says about me either.
I'm saying that we had an all-time podcast for the Brilliantly Dumb Show.
You're a pawn, Ticket. But the fact that you knew from day one, like if you're saying, hold on, if you're saying that you knew from the moment Mikey V bought that ticket that you weren't going, that is crazy, mental warfare.
I don't believe that.
No way.
I think it's more of like a not mad, disappointed moment from Mikey V.
I think Ticket had every intention of going to that game, and then we got to Luna. He literally had to transport all of that equipment, which there was a lot of equipment. I don't think people understand. Like there's microphones with stands and a mixer and cameras, and like it's not just like this is just so much more simplistic and easy, and that's why the quality of it is dog shit as compared to the when you do it the right way like that. And for him to have to do that, and then we ran into a couple bugaboos before the podcast went off. We didn't know if the podcast was going to go off because we had some business to attend to before the podcast was going off. We were trying to get organized, trying to do some things.
Yeah.
So then that into the fact that extended it, and then we're like scrambling last second. Then he's got to bring all the back, and people are asking him, "Can you also bring this back to Manhattan?" And now that I'm thinking about it, like he probably just got back to Manhattan. He was like, you know what?
He said,
"Fuck this."
He said he was stuck in a tunnel for an hour.
Dude, I was stuck in
the tunnel. We hit traffic. That was the most traffic I've ever hit going to a Yankee game in quite some time.
For 2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah, that's bad.
You know why they were giving bobbleheads away that night?
I left at 3:30 and I got there at 5:30, Mikey V. But you know what? If that was on the first day of our trip, it was. We did the Breezy Invitational. We had our own thing the night before.
5-iron.
This was the last day of our trip. But you know what, Mikey V? Even if this was on the first day of our trip, I guarantee you, the second you got me that ticket, I'm not going to say I was never going to go. But I knew the second you got me that ticket, after all the hullabaloo, I knew there was an 8% chance I wasn't going to that fucking.
Then Ticket, I gotta say,
There
so,
was
like that you're mentally
He's
you're
one of the
disturbed.
sickest.
You're a
I-
disturbed
Yeah,
individual.
I don't
I
think so.
might
Because
be.
even up there, even before the game, you were going back and forth about if you were going to come or not.
Yes,
So
yes.
I don't know.
Unless
Maybe
it was
it's
all a
for the-
facade.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I
And
think we all
also-
knew that.
And also, before we move on, I don't want to say, it wasn't just me carrying all that equipment. The Jet helped me out immensely, as he always does. But Jet did find himself on that bus, and Jet did take one of the best videos of Joey Cold Cuts and that fucking pinata, man. That was
Oh, that pinata
what's
was-
better?
So many people messaged me about that.
You know what's better than the video of Joey Cold Cuts hitting the pinata is the part where you can see Nikki Smiggs taking the photo of Benjamin taking the video of Joey Cold Cuts.
Yeah.
You were all fucking over that shit, dude.
Dude, Nikki
You're the best in the
Smiggs Nikki Smiggs. Is one of the all-time characters. Just as a person, the guy is a character. And when I don't know who brought that on. You were like, we have a special guest, and then somebody walked on board with a Cutsy pinata. And once that was
Lindsay,
like
Lindsay.
we're clearly headed to
Lindsay,
Barry.
yeah. The pinata was in the works for, I would say, a little over a month. So the girl who got it, she was like, she told me at her birthday party that me and my wife went to, she was like, they make these custom pinatas. And I was thinking, for the bus, it would just be so funny if we got one. And I was like, yes. And yeah.
It was spot on, man.
Who took that? That is fantastic.
The best,
took
that? Took that?
The best picture is actually the picture of that with where it came from, like the actual outfit that Cuts had on. When you compare it to the pinata, is fucking scary.
Yeah,
it's
that's
so balls on accurate.
It's so good.
here
So
it is. This is the picture that it came. I mean, like, really, like, that is just fucking unbelievable.
It's
So,
good.
Good on whoever.
All
made
right.
the pinata.
All right. Well, I don't want to tread too much on the Brilliant. I mean, you guys are going to be talking about this on the Brilliantly Dumb show. I don't want to tread too much on their toes. But the one thing I will say before we get into the sports, because we are the sportsmen, is that I met Mikey V for the first time. And what I was blown away by, I'm not going to go into this whole Mikey V's huge. I'm not going to go into that. Like, you're a big boy. That's obvious. I'm not going to play into that. But what did take me back, and it wasn't just you, it was you and all your friends, was everyone I met who, of all the North Jersey guys, because I grew up in Jersey, but it's very different than North Jersey. That's almost a different state. What I found with you and all your friends, every single person I met grabbed me by the fucking shoulder and said, "Hey, good to see you." And then they gave me a good handshake too, the hardest handshake I've ever met in my entire life. And it was unbelievable. I mean, and you looked me right in the eye, like you were staring through my soul, but it was a good way. It wasn't a bad way. It was a good way. And it was good to see. It was really nice. I just couldn't believe the grip on my fucking shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not, that's if I'm not going to greet you that way, and I mean, I'm not going to greet you, period. If I don't feel comfortable enough to really, greet you in a way in which I feel like I know you for a long time, which I do, just not in person. I mean, I'd rather not even speak to you. There's no point in me speaking.
Mikey V welcomed me at the tournament. He grabbed me like this and lifted me
well,
up.
I told you I
was a pylon.
And then when I put you down, Perez looked at me dead in the eye and he goes, "Thank you."
All right, and we'll leave the rest of that to the Brilliantly Dumb show, the Audi Club summary, all of that. We'll leave that to the Brilliantly Dumb show to do what they do best. But we're the sportsmen. We're going to talk about sports here, and the NBA Finals wrapped up last night. The Nuggets beat the Heat, and quite honestly, Mikey V called it. I hopped on board with it. I piggybacked on it. We know how me and Mikey V and Joey D feel about things, but Jet, how'd you feel about the Nuggets taking down the Heat there?
So, okay, I was a little concerned when you asked me to come on today because I haven't watched a lick of basketball this week. But with that being said, I watched last night, and I've been on the bad side of the Jimmy Butler take because I have been anti-Jimmy Butler for all these years on a personal level, and I use that as a way to talk about his game. So I don't want to say I was vindicated.
Why do you not like Jimmy Butler?
Because he played for the Bulls.
Chicago,
he was with the Bulls.
I'm under the opinion that you're not winning a championship with Jimmy Butler as your lead, as your number one guy. That's it. Okay. And I hate him. But besides that, I think he's a big antics guy. You want to get into it, fine. I just think he's a big antics guy. I think the shit he did, every team he's been on, he leaves and they hate him. He left the Timberwolves, he left the Sixers, he left the Bulls, and like people say he's a competitor. He gets away with that because like he pretends that he's Kobe. So like he pretends that he's pushing his teammates along when in reality he's just an asshole. Like that's my whatever. That's Jimmy Butler. Regardless, the Nuggets were the best team in the league all year, and they came out on top. It's really impressive what the Miami did though throughout the playoffs and the series. And honestly, I attribute that to their head coaching. I think Spoelstra is the best coach in the game. And yeah, I mean, I think it fell how everybody kind of thought it was going to fall.
Yeah, the Heat were outmatched. There's no question about it. I would have been interesting to see if they had Tyler Hero for the series. Maybe that would have changed something. But again, he was banged up. The problem what it comes down to is there's just so many scoring, outlets from the Nuggets. I mean, Jokic, to me, by the way, you want to talk about a classy guy, whether you like the way he plays or not, this guy epitomizes what it means to be a leader in the NBA. Never says, it's never about me or I'm doing this. It's always my teammates, my coach, the team, the environment, the fans. He's just a class act. And to me, one of the best basketball players I've watched for a while. He can do it all. And then you got Jamal Murray, who was just balling out this playoffs. And then you got guys like Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon can, deliver on the defensive end of the ball and can help out from times. Caldwell Pope, they just had so many weapons. And even this kid from Kansas, this Braun guy, stepped up this series as well. So I think they were outmatched. I'm actually really happy to see Denver win. First championship they've ever won. I think it's well-deserved. And it's good for the NBA. It's good to see some parity in the NBA. And it's not just the same teams winning it over and over again. Like, I think it's good for the NBA. I think it's good moving forward. And I'm happy for Denver. I think, they definitely were the class of the NBA this year, and it showed when the chips were down.
Yeah, I mean, I said Nuggets in 5. They won in 5. I thought Miami would steal a game. That game that they stole, Denver basically took that fourth quarter off. It was obvious. I think Denver would have swept if they had just not fallen asleep behind the wheel in that fourth quarter in game 2. I think they would have swept. But they didn't. Miami last night, I thought first quarter, they looked fine. They went on a horrible drought after they scored, a couple early buckets. They went on a horrible drought. They still ended up winning the first quarter, but then Denver was just too much. And Jimmy Butler was nowhere. I mean, Jimmy Butler take from 2 weeks ago or last week. It didn't look too bad last night because this guy was fucking nowhere. The guy missed 2 free throws in the first quarter. Now, really, in the grand scheme of the game, doesn't mean anything. But like
for Mikey V's bet,
it meant a lot for my bet. That's fine. But where were you, superstar? Like, superstars don't do that. I said Ticket, and I went on record and said I did think he was of superstar level. I said, though, I didn't have him in the top tier of superstars. We went over a lot of players who were in that upper stratosphere of superstars. But last night was a bad look for him. And I think Jet is right with the Spoelstra take. I think Joe, and we've talked about how good Spoelstra's been and maybe has helped carry them really through these playoffs, through a lot of these series that no one thought they really were going to have much business in. But Denver was the best team all year. Denver kind of just, it was kind of almost like, I don't know, not disappointing that Denver won. I'm not disappointed, but it's kind of was just like a lackadaisical walk through the NBA to the NBA finals for Denver. It never really felt like Denver had to do much of anything. Like, it almost was like Jokic at the end in the post-game presser was like, I'm glad it's over. Like, I could go home now. Like, very, very pedestrian, lackadaisical, just basically went through the motions, and they're better than everyone else. And that's it. They're glad it's over. And that's kind of what it felt like. So really one of the worst NBA playoffs, in my opinion, that I can remember. Not really great at all by any means. I don't know what stuck out where you're like, oh my God, this was so great.
Well, the Celtics Heat game 6 was incredible. That buzzer
one
beater
game.
was
okay, but
yeah,
the NBA Finals, to Mikey V's point, it's
Oh, yeah,
the
that
NBA
was bad.
Finals I can remember. And another thing I want to point out is, and I can see Jet fuming over there, that Jimmy Butler take is his take. And the thing with Jet is that we have a lot of similar takes. Jet just says them louder and with more authority. So he takes them. But that being said, I take a lot of his bits. Most of the funny things that come out of my mouth, I take from him. But we both, I felt a very similar way about Jimmy Butler. We have a very similar take on Doc Rivers. You can talk to us later about it. Send us a DM about it. Guy's a scumbag, stinks, never was. But that being said, I agree full-heartedly with you, Mikey V. And you said it on the last Sportsman. And Joey D disagreed with us, not to throw Joey D under the bus, but he said, I would bet that Miami Heat are dogs. They will get at least one more. And you said, I bet the Denver Nuggets win in 5. And I said, you know what? I'm leaning more towards Mikey V. I bet they win in 5. And kudos to you, Mikey V.
Last night could have gone either way. The way that it went right down to the
end. Could have gone either way. It's no disrespect to you, Joe. It's just that Miami Heat just didn't have the gas, and they didn't have the tenacity. They had no player in them that had the tenacity to go out there and fucking win against the Denver Nuggets.
If you had to add one player from the NBA that you think would give Miami a chance to win it all, who are you putting on that? I think you got to give them an offensive-minded. Jet, who are you giving them? One player to help Miami win.
You're talking about like a role player. You're not saying like LeBron, right? Like
I'm saying one player. I mean, yeah, maybe not.
You can't
LeBron,
say a star. I mean,
game changer, but yeah, sure, yes.
I mean, I think if you put Damian Lillard on that team,
realistic player that you could add to the Heat, like realistic.
What about Russell Westbrook?
They would need like a 4. No, I think if they had fucking Tobias Harris, they'd be a better competitor. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we've gone down that road, Jet. We've gone down the Tobias Harris.
I know.
Want to know where that goes. You don't want to know where the Tobias Harris.
Okay, if you gave them Jaylen Brown, do you think that they could win the NBA championship?
Yes. And you
that's another guy.
But you look at who they have. They're a team. They have no business. They were an 8 seed, right? They have no business being in the NBA Finals in the first place. They're a bunch of they have undrafted guys. They have late first round guys, second round guys. They just like overachieved due to whatever. They play well, but they ran out of juice, like was expected.
I'll tell you, Joe. If you put Jason Tatum on that team tomorrow, they'll win.
Well, no, but Jason Tatum's locked up. I'm saying like a guy.
But Jaylen Brown is another. He's the Walmart version.
What about Damian
Butler? He's another guy who can't perform in the big moment. I mean, that's just another Jimmy Butler.
What about a guy like Chris Middleton?
Yes, he's a great.
Yeah. I don't know if that puts them over the edge, but that's a good player.
He's an all-star.
I don't think anybody was going to beat Denver.
I think the bottom line is, I think that what you've asked, Joe, has pointed out that the Heat need they need a LeBron, they need a Kevin, they need someone like that, because they're putting all their eggs in the Jimmy Butler basket. And like Jet has said, and like I said last week, that's just not your guy. That's just
I will say this: you still have to tip your cap what he did this playoffs. It's still very the fact that the Miami. I'm not taking away what you're saying, Jet. I agree, but the fact that Miami was even there is a testament of how well he played in that Bucks series, in the series against the Sixers. I think not against the Sixers, sorry. In the series against who did they beat last series? They beat the Knicks, and then they beat the Celtics. The Celtics.
The Bucks.
So the Celtics and the Bucks series. That was both impressive. I thought he played out of his mind, but yes, I agree. You need help.
The Jimmy Butler slander at this point is kind of just a bit, but yes, he I don't think it was a bit until this year though. Like he really went off in the playoffs.
Yes.
The bubble the bubble is whatever. I know they made the finals there. But I think this year, I mean, I tip my cap to Jimmy Butler. I
agree with the Jet. As mismanaged as the Sixers are, there's a reason that they picked Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. And it's not because they thought that Tobias Harris was a better player. It's because up to that point, he was a much more reliable player. This guy could rebound, he could assist, and he could score. And Jimmy Butler always came short in big moments, and he always has. And you can look at Jimmy Butler in this playoffs and say, wow, what a success. He got to the finals again. Or you can look at it the other way and say, wow, he came up short again. He is not the all-star. He is not the Kevin Durant of the league. He is not the Jokic of the league. You need something more than that. And
He's definitely not Jokic.
Durant.
He's not Jokic or Durant.
And he's not a top 5 player, so how can you ever?
Durant's always had tons of help too. Durant's never won when he was a solo guy only. He had guys like Steph Curry.
I'd rather
guys
have
like
Durant than Jimmy Butler.
You want to talk about an underachieving team? Phoenix, when they got Kevin Durant, everyone was like, all right, they're in the finals. And then they just disappeared.
That's a great point. That's a great. And
Chris Paul is the guy that I would say is past his prime.
Well, he got hurt. He missed.
He always gets hurt, and they never talk about a guy who could never make it to the fucking mountaintop. Chris Paul.
Now I would take Jimmy Butler's take from Ticket, and I would apply that to Chris Paul, and I would say that that's a guy who throughout his career has always looked like he could fucking turn the tides, and in the big moments he doesn't step up. But
that's best mid-range jumper in the league, though.
The only thing that happened when Kevin Durant went to Phoenix Suns is their coach got fired. That's the only thing that happened. That's the only thing that happened. All right, moving on to the real reason we brought the Jet on, other than he's the funniest guy in all of
Monty Williams. He signed with the
Detroit.
Pistons.
The Pistons.
There you go. Already got a job.
There you go.
He got a job already. Yeah.
But moving on to golf, our bread and butter.
Oh, yeah.
Is the U.S. Open preview. I mean, I don't know if we're going. I know that you guys are probably going. Lord knows if I got a ticket, I'd probably just skip it anyway, right, Mikey V? U.S.
Yeah, probably.
U.S. Open, man. Who do you guys like? What's your expectations? Is this going to be an exciting year? Do you like the location? Joey D, let's start with you, man.
I'm going to go with the guy that we know. If I'm picking winners, I'm going to go with Homa as one of the guys. He always performs well in LA. It's like his hometown. He shows up. We saw him play really well in Riviera for the Genesis Open. I think you're going to see a good playing out of him. And then I kind of like, I'll give another guy that I kind of like. I kind of like Xander Schauffele. I think he steps up in major championships. And then give me another guy. Give me Tommy Fleetwood out of the basement to maybe make some noise this tournament. He just had a good outing in the RBC, came to top 5. He played really well. And you know what? He's probably going to carry that momentum into the tournament. Maybe not to win, but maybe top 10 finish. I just to show that I'm not just going to take fucking Scotty Scheffler and the favorites all the time, but I like Homa. I like Schauffele, and give me from the basement. Give me Tommy Fleetwood. I think it's going to be great.
Mikey V?
I mean, you already know who I'm. You know already.
Oh, not again.
I mean, why not? Why fucking not? The guy
go back to Brooks.
Guy should have 2 majors under his belt already.
No,
He's going back to Brooks.
I tell you what, if you don't bet Brooks Koepka to finish in the top 10, I think you're out of your mind. I think you're throwing away free money. Brooks Koepka top 10 is free money, I think. I really do. I believe that wholheartedly. Wholeheartedly.
He's gonna have an off tournament.
I like Victor Hovland top 10. I think it's a solid. Why is he laughing at that?
I don't know. I don't know either. Well, I think the thought process is Mikey V from a golf, and I will say
you like Michael Block too?
Well, no, he's kind of new in the golf game, but you know how hard it is to win a tournament. It is not that I
know it's very hard, but
to win a tournament and then to go back and win another tournament. So Koepka just won the last major. Yeah, he won the PGA.
Should have won the major before that.
To go back to back is very hard, and then Hovland just won a tournament.
He's built
Hovland
different.
just won a tournament.
You just picked Tommy Fleetwood based on the fact that he almost won the RBC,
but he didn't win. He didn't win.
That means he's trending. I mean, he's
trending upward.
Right, he's never won, by the way.
Once you win,
he hasn't won a single tournament yet.
Once you win,
he's won over. All
right, Mikey.
I'll give you a name. I'll give you a name that'll throw you for a little loop. Give me
Sung J.M.
How about Jason Day?
I like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Day. Okay.
It's not bad at all.
Thank you. Sanjay M, I'm done with him.
He was done halfway through the fucking first round of the PGA.
It was lights out. Play on paper. It was a good play.
Yeah, golf's tough, man. Sometimes you think you're reading between the lines, and then you find out the lines that you're reading between are dog.
I might have to sprinkle something on Keegan Bradley top 10 also.
Wow!
Out of respect to his caddy.
I'm going for dinner tonight with his caddy, Scotty.
Yeah, his caddy's a great guy.
I had to throw that in, did you? You're just not going to dinner.
I'm gonna tell him that Mikey V is money on Keegan.
Yeah, tell him I said hello and tell him I said great guy, nice to meet him. Really nice.
Definitely will. Definitely.
Jed, who are you looking to win this thing?
All right, so I'm taking the golf course. I think, and I know everybody says this every U.S. Open because you get the videos of the balls bouncing.
You see the rough,
and you get even the fucking videos of the fairways this time are the ball. You can hit the ball in the fairway and end up in the middle of nowhere. I just think that it'll be. I think like maybe 3 or 4 under will win. And I know that's like these guys are so good that might not be the case, but it looks like it's extremely difficult. So I like Matt Fitzpatrick. I mean, he's a defending champion. He plays well on tough courses. And the other guy I like that Homa pick too, because like you said, the West Coast. And then a guy who kind of has disappeared a little bit. He was the top of the world, and I think he's ready to come back, is Cam Smith. I think he might make something happen. And I'm a big fan of Cam Smith. So those would be my
Cam loves himself some Cam Smith.
I do. I like Cam Smith. He's got some swagger. He's kind of like an underdog. He's like a rogue warrior. I like Cam Smith. And I like Minwoo Lee too, but I can't bet him because he's banged me every time
you're the guy.
Exactly. I can't do it.
So take it Mikey V, just so that you know, we went to Riviera and Bob was doing his thing where he like shouts out the players and the heckling or whatever. Mm-hmm. And this Minwoo Lee, he walked by and he looked at Bob, and I guess he had heard the voice and he saw the person who was saying it. And he looks at Bob and he goes, you're the guy, the TikTok guy. So now every time we ever say Minwoo Lee, we just go, you're the guy.
Yeah, he's good.
He's got that Australian accent too.
He almost won the players, and he's supposed to be really, really fucking good. But I mean, he bangs me in the majors, I'll tell you that.
Ticket. Who are your picks? Because when Ticket's hot in these golf picks, he gets really hot.
I'll tell you who I don't like. It's Brooks Koepka. That
you've said that every major, haven't you?
Wait, can we get a side wager?
Well,
Koepka will finish top 10.
Top 10?
He'll finish top
Ticket
10.
And do we have a wager?
I'm in too. I say no top 10.
Ticket, you're going to take that. You're going to take that juice?
The kind of guy that rests on his laurels. He is the Los Angeles. He's going to win the Super Bowl.
Bet Mikey V.
That's the type of sport, dude.
You're lying. You mean like this can't make it top 10?
No, Mikey, or no, Ticket, you got to give Mikey V a line. He's picking a guy to come top 10 out of a field of what, 80 golfers?
Top 10.
Yeah, well, you can't can't tell him, give me a line.
You don't have to give me a line. I think Brooks is going to win the whole fucking thing. But I'm going to take him top 10. I'm going to take him top 10. Ticket. Friendly wager Ticket. I'll buy you lunch. I'll send you a Venmo over. I'll buy you a nice lunch. Now I know Los Angeles, it's going to cost me quite a few pennies. A slice of pizza out there is $20, but that's fine.
Just come out to LA and get me a bagel with lox.
Okay, it's done.
Wow.
A nice lunch. Brooks Koepka top 10. I say
virtual
yes.
Handshake.
No.
Virtual handshake.
That's right.
Take a virtual handshake. Put it on the line.
Brooks Koepka is a guy who he either wins or he finishes in 40th. Like, that's
my kind of guy, man.
No, I'm my kind of guy too. But I'm saying in golf, right when you think you have it all is when it knocks you on your ass.
I just think that Koepka was so good. And he got hurt, and everybody fucking forgot about him, and everyone started to hate him and talk shit on him, and now he's fully back. I believe he's fully back, and I believe he's head and shoulders better than everyone on the face of the planet, save 2 gentlemen, Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm. So obviously, I think, and either of those guys could obviously go out and win this tournament also, but there's something about Brooks at majors. I mean, he's got what now, 6? He's climbing the pyramid for the 5 or 6.
5.
Is it only 5? Okay, I thought
it was 5.
Okay,
well, maybe after this one you'll be prophetic.
I thought he had 6. That's on me though. That's fine. So, but anyway, I just feel like I just think that he's running as red hot as you could run with I just think he knocks it up another level at these majors. And listen, guys should have 2 already this year. We'll see. I hear what you're saying though, Jed. I do agree with Jed on this. If he's not going to finish like top 5 or very close in contention, he may like fucking finish bottom of the barrel. I would not be shocked.
The kind of guy you're saying though is true about. I mean, he was in the final group of the Masters. He's in the final group of the PGA. He very well could just turn it up again and be in the final group at he does show up for the majors. And I tend to not like to bet on guys who are like on such a hot streak. but I mean, he always performs at the majors.
Koepka's the kind of guy to me that he's a dog until he wins. And then when he wins, he goes out and he parties. He's enjoying life with his wife. He's enjoying the
God
minute.
forbid.
And then
God
he
forbid.
comes and he shits the bed on the next one. He is not going to finish anywhere near the top 10 on this one. I would guarantee it, Mikey V. And that's why you're going to be buying me a Lox bagel. I guarantee we'll talk to him in a year when he's feeling
All
down
right.
on himself again and
All
he's
right,
feeling
we'll
like a
see.
dog again. That's when he's going to win again, but it's not going to be this one.
All right, we'll see.
I would also
think it's gonna be
take-
interesting.
I will also take chalk. I will take John Rahm. I think John Rahm's going to be special.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I mean he will. He always he will.
Oh,
And
he was
Rory,
special
Tick,
last time.
give me 2-3
I'm
guys,
special.
Tick. Give me 2-3 guys, Tick.
Well, I'm always so Jet and I love Cam Smith. Cam Smith is my I love him. I think he's going to come out. He's one of the most special young talents in golf. And
No Cameron Young.
no Cameron Young. No
Cameron
Cameron.
Young is Cam Young
Golfer.
is the biggest
Great
hit or miss of all time.
Yes.
All time.
I'm a big Cam Smith guy, and give me John Rahm. Those are my two guys.
Wow.
Chalk, obviously, but I think he's going to bounce back big after the last one. I mean, he played like shit. He played like shit, and he's just too good to not come back.
You guys see the 294-yard par 3,
Yeah.
the 7th hole?
It's unbelievable.
What are you hitting? You hitting driver there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jet, what are you
it's
hitting
gonna be-
there? Yeah, what are you hitting there, Jet?
Not only I'm hitting paradigm. That shit.
I'm
hitting-
hitting 3-wood to driver.
That's a
Depends.
294.
But is it downhill? It's
I
downhill.
think they were saying the front of the green is like 260.
So I could hit 3-wood.
Yeah, you get it 3-wood. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's.
I might be on another
flex
hole.
on you.
That's
a light
not.
flex.
I could be in a 2 holes down on the left, but I would hit.
Have you
3-wood.
ever played LACC?
I've not. No, I've never even been out there.
Yeah, I don't know how the members I don't know if they just make it extremely hard. It has to be hard during the year. I don't know how do members go out and play that course? Maybe they just play.
There's
so
a connection I could
close.
use to go out there, but the thing is, it's just I've heard it's so stuffy and that it's so like they look at you like they're better than you.
Yeah.
That I've really had no desire to go and play there, even as good as it is.
Yeah.
Now, once we go to the course, I'll probably change my mind pretty quick once I see how nice it is. But it's gonna be exciting. By the way, what did you guys think about the finish of that RBC chat? Like the Canadian Championship being won by a Canadian for the first time in 69 years, and he made like an 80-foot putt to do it. Celebrations, and then his buddy Adam Hadwin, who we golfed with in Jupiter, fucking gets absolutely Goldberg speared by this. Mikey, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. I mean, I thought, listen, 4 playoff holes, right? I thought it was a fantastic finish. You know, the eagle putt was obviously fucking ridiculous.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great finish. These tournaments, most of them are fantastic. I mean, most of them are just awesome. The finishes on them, playoff hole or not, they're just really, really well done. They're really good. And Sunday was no exception to that. And the fact that a Canadian guy, it just jacked up the whole, excitement around the finish. So yeah, I was happy that guy, I was happy he won. Obviously it meant a lot to a lot of people. It was clear, he was the favorite, rooting favorite by far. It was very loud, very emotional. And then the guy who got body bagged by the security guard. I mean, that security guard, that was a really nice form tackle. You got to.
Do you think he gets reprimanded for that?
No.
I don't know,
No?
man.
Especially because he got up. Well, Hadwin didn't make a big deal about it.
He didn't make
got
a
up
big
and
deal
was
about
laughing about it.
Yeah.
So no.
Well, that's
Cutsy,
typical
I will tell
Canadian.
you, Cutsy, your boy. I mean, I love Tommy Fleetwood like anybody, and I know you're picking him this week, and he's trending, but he kind of blew that a couple times at the end there. On 8, first of all, did you see the 18th hole? How ridiculous! It was a par 5, and guys were hitting irons off the tee because it's such a weird hole.
Yeah.
He laid up with an iron into the rough. His drive was into the rough. Then he laid up into the rough again. He made a miracle. He got up and down, right?
Yeah, that was nice.
In a few of the playoff holes, he had, 10, 11 footers to win, and he just couldn't close the door.
Well, an
So-
11-footer is not exactly a kid.
When I saw him
he
teeing
had the
off on that
same
18th
putt.
hole with an iron, I was like, what's going on here?
He
I
had
almost
the
had to do a double.
He had
I'll
the
tell you
same
what.
putt multiple times. He had the same putt multiple
You know
times.
who keeps blowing it? And somebody who I would I would fade for this U.S.
Yeah.
Open, and he's
Rory
always Rory
McIlroy.
McIlroy. How is he always
Yeah.
favored like 11-1 to win?
He's always
This
there,
guy hasn't
man.
won a fucking major since like in a decade almost. It's
But
unbelievable.
His last bunch of tournaments, he's been top 5. Like, he's also trending as ridiculous.
Well, the Masters, he didn't even make the cuts.
Yeah, but the Masters was 3 months ago. Like in the last,
I understand, but the last
he almost won last week. He's always there.
I would fade Rory
Never wins,
McIlroy,
though.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. Rory needs a win desperately. He needs a big win,
especially after all this live and PGA stuff that's happened.
Yeah.
The poor guy's been like, the spokesperson for the PGA. I think it's kind of distracted him from actually the golf that he's playing.
I mean, he's been distracted for the last 10 years. I mean, the guy needs a win desperately. I mean, he needs a win like Jordan Spieth needs a fucking win. But
well, he won when it mattered with the FedEx Cup when he won $16 million. That was a nice win.
When Brooks won his last one, everybody's like, because everybody considers Rory as the best golfer going. I mean, obviously outside of the guys, but at body of work is the best golfer. And then Brooks just passed him so quietly. And they're like, holy shit, like Brooks actually has more majors than Rory does now.
Yep,
Sure does.
absolutely does.
Killer.
All right, boys. Well, let's move on to one of our new segments. Last week we did Who's a Problem, which I'm upset the Jet's here because I think that would be a segment suited for the Jet. Problem.
Who's a problem?
And maybe we can run it if Jet wants to, but we have our other segment.
We didn't do that last week. We did What Are You Watching? We didn't do Who's a Problem.
We did both.
When did we do Who's a Problem?
You want to run Who's a Problem? Are you ready for Who's a Problem, Joe?
I'm just saying we didn't run Who's a Problem last week.
Do you have Who's a Problem? Do you have one ready?
I'm trying
There's
to think
plenty
of
of people
problem.
Who's a problem. I have one ready right now. I'll go right
We'll
now.
start with Joe. We'll go to Mikey V. We'll go to me, and then we'll go to Jet to finish this off.
Let me think. I gotta think.
I'll tell you who's a problem, okay?
Yeah.
You want to know who's a problem? And Mikey V has defended this guy in the past. Conor fucking McGregor. This guy is an absolute liability. He is going to get his ass kicked in this UFC match that he has coming up. He is such a piece of trash. And you know what? He goes and he's supposed to do a little bit with the Heat mascot. So he knocks him down. Okay, fair enough. He goes up to the guy once he's down and delivers a left hook to the jaw. The poor mascot had to be brought to the ER, to the emergency room, and this guy then starts walking up and starts filming and laughing him after. Like, this guy is a problem between punching 80-year-olds, knocking out and sending mascots to the ER. This guy should be out of any competitive fights. He hasn't won since God knows when. And he's going to go, and I tell you what,
That's a double
Chandler is going to kick the shit out of this piece of trash, Conor McGregor.
Perhaps.
Absolute liability, this guy.
Mikey V, who's your problem?
I mean, it ain't McGregor, that's for sure. I don't know where the McGregor. I mean, it's some kind of personal vendetta you got against McGregor. One of the greatest icons in the history of MMA. There's no question about it. He's an icon.
Mikey, you love cheering for the bad guy. That's what it comes down to.
The sport. He is an icon of the sport. The sport of MMA, the UFC is not the same if not for Conor McGregor.
But I'm saying he's done now, and he's acting like
done. That's fine. It's one thing to say he's done. That's fine.
He's a piece of shit. You like rooting for the bad guy. That's what it comes down to. You like rooting.
Mikey V. He is a piece of shit. He's a bad guy.
I disagree.
Mikey V's the guy who watched. Mikey V's the guy as a kid who watched The Lion King and rooted for Scar.
No.
Certain
yeah, it is. I think I am. I think I'm onto something here.
No.
All right, who's your problem?
Not at all. Who's the problem for me right now? I tell you who's the problem is Brian Cashman's a problem for the New York Yankees. He's a problem right now. This team is not good. I was in person watching this team, and it was painful. And they won the game that I was at, that we were all at. Well, not the ticket, but we were all at. Sorry, Ted. We were at that game, and it was painful to watch. This Yankee team, he has rested on his laurels now for how many years? Going with the same, recycled lineup of DJ LeMahieu, who's on the decline and injury prone. Giancarlo Stanton, who I love, but is on the decline and who's injury prone. Aaron Judge, who's the god amongst men, but if he's out of the lineup, there's nothing, and he's the only guy in the lineup that provides the juice anyway. And outside of that, you have the same group of guys. Harrison Bader, oft injured, unfortunately. Gleyber Torres, not the guy that you thought he was going to be when he came up. And outside of that, it's just they're not good. They're not good. This is not a well-constructed roster. And I'm going to tell you something. This team is going to miss the playoffs. This team is this team's not going to make the playoffs, man.
I think they
if Judge is out until let's say, I think Judge, this is my take on Aaron Judge. I don't think you're going to see Aaron Judge before the All-Star break. I don't think you'll see Aaron Judge again before the All-Star break. I think the injury is a lot. They're not going to give you much more than what they've already given you. I think the Yankees are going to miss the playoffs. I think the division's too competitive. The Orioles are better. The Rays are the best team in baseball. The Red Sox just took a series from them.
They're better than the Red Sox, Mikey V.
Okay, but they just lost a series to the Red Sox. So I'm not going to sit here and say they're better than the Red Sox. I can't. They just lost a series to them. It's something is way off there, and something needs to change radically, because this is not the Yankees that I know. It's a regurgitation every year of the same lineup, same roster, and something's got to change. He's a problem. Brian Cashman's a problem.
That's a good one. Yeah. I want to hear Benjamin.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got a plethora of guys to pick from.
Too. I want to hear who's the problem. I want to hear who's the problem.
I'm ready.
I got a couple problems for you.
Oh, yeah. He always
Here's the thing.
Wow, the Golden Knights, Joseph. I'm sorry, Jet.
Oh, that is a Joey D move.
I'm sorry, but that was an only subs hit. That's a big hit.
Listen, Mikey V is a problem. No, so my problem is, hold on. Now, you guys very well may have talked about this last week. So if this was the problem last week, you just let me know.
I don't think we did.
We did it.
I think Joe's right. I don't think
we did. What are you watching?
Jay Monahan is a problem.
Oh, yes, he is.
Because listen, and I got another. I don't care about what they're doing. Like, I think it's kind of fucked up, and everything they've done is kind of bullshit. All you got to do is get up and be like, I'm a fraud. Like, I'm a liar.
Yeah.
Like, we changed. Like, we thought this, and now it's this. Like, you don't need to pretend just get up there, say I'm a piece of shit and I'm a liar, but I have to make all these people money. And I know he's just a puppet for the board of the PGA to do their thing, but just either resign or admit that you're a clown and that you're a liar and that you're a bum, and then go do whatever you got to do. Jay Monahan's a big problem because he embarrassed pretty much the tour. All those players kind of are like, it's bullshit what he did to them, to not have them take the money and then to go ahead and take the money himself, whatever. Jay Monahan, problem number one. Problem number two, and I don't know if you guys know who this is. I bet Mikey V does, because I know you're grinding on the internet at all times. It's Baby Gronk's dad. You know who that is?
Yeah.
This fucking clown.
The baby Gronk kid, though, is that even
who is Baby Gronk?
So Baby Gronk, I don't even know. He's this character on the internet. He's like this little kid that does, like, I guess these like football drills, or like he's a social media. He's become like a social media, like one of these like social media stars or whatever. I don't know if you call him a star or whatever, but
like a Hasbulla.
Yeah, kind of. But his dad is basically like, he's a kid. The kid doesn't know better. His dad is basically parading him around the internet, sending DMs to every single person, trying to get this. He's like a helicopter parent in like the worst way. And if you look it up, you'll see like he's essentially like, it's what he's doing to this kid is not okay. He's DMing everybody, trying to get him on. He's trying to use his kid for clout. I saw him in an interview. They were interviewing Baby Gronk, and he would make them re-ask the questions and then tell his kid how to answer them. It's kind of fucked up what's going on there. So I'm out on Jay Monahan and I'm out on Baby Gronk. Back to you. Baby Gronk's dad.
Now, Baby Gronk.
Yeah.
No, Baby Gronk's fine.
And that's a good take on
is,
Baby Gronk.
Why do you call him Baby
Monahan,
Gronk? Does he seem like Baby? Is he built like Gronk?
He's like a little kid who's like big, I guess, and runs. I don't really know. I just kind of.
Do you know how many? Do you know how many guys coming out of college, white tight ends, they've nicknamed Baby Gronk at this point?
Yeah,
literally, I could name like 5 off the top of my head.
Tyler Conklin. was a
How
baby.
many toddlers?
Adam Shaheen was
Gronk?
Baby Gronk.
Adam
The
Shaheen.
kid from Notre
Mark
Dame
Andrews was a baby.
the kid from Notre Dame now, Michael Mayer's Baby Gronk.
Oh, Myers.
Get in
Yeah,
on
Myers.
this. Jet,
Well,
get in on this.
This is the only 10-year-old to be nicknamed Baby Gronk. And let me tell you something. Once teenage Gronk and adult Gronk like realizes how his dad fucked him up, he's going to, one, never talk to his dad again, and two, just like he's not gonna give a fuck. He's gonna become like homeless Gronk because his dad fucked him.
Better or worse, Baby Gronk's dad or LeVar Ball?
LeVar Ball's dad is better. LeVar Ball.
What?
Yes, because I don't think he was doing this when they were this young. His kids had clear.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
LeVar Ball's dad is just a doofus. That guy's just a doofus.
Yeah. Is it LeVar Ball the dad?
No, LeVar Ball, he's the dad.
He's the dad.
Yeah,
he's just a doofus.
I will say the shit he did with the shoes very well could have ended. No, but it very well could have ended Lonzo Ball's career. He's injured forever now, and I think it might have something to do with the shoes. I'm dead serious.
Big baller brand.
Big baller brand. Yeah.
But they were older. They were already in high school when you started seeing this shit about them. This kid is like in third grade.
Yeah. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Tick, who are you saying is a problem?
Well, I'm going to get us on to the viewer questions to get us out of here because we've got an extra guy and we've got extra takes here this week, so we want to get us out of here. But quickly, I'll just say JJ Redick. I'm sick of him. I'm really sick of the old man in the three. I'm sick
I
of
thought you loved JJ Redick.
I did for a long time, but you
have to love Redick. He's one of the best.
He's one of the best college basketball players of all time.
You love someone long enough, you learn to hate him. This guy is such a woke. He talks like he's better than us. He knows what he is.
He is.
He goes,
JJ, I'll be the first person to say JJ Redick's better than me.
You love it? Then you're part of the problem.
All right, Tick. I'm gonna play a game right now, Tick. It's called Who Would You Take? I'm gonna give you other sports sportscasters, and you're gonna tell me if you would take JJ Redick or them. Are you ready? We'll start with Kendrick Perkins.
Of course.
Oh. Okay, there's one. We'll go on to Skip Bayless.
This is the loaded question.
Skip Bayless isn't even a real fucking
analyst. I'm just saying, Skip Bayless.
Of course.
JJ Redick.
Nobody
Stephen A. Smith.
Nobody
Smith.
I'll take Stephen A.
Wow.
You take Stephen A. over JJ Redick?
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying about JJ Redick.
Tim Tebow.
No, he's different sport. No, of course not. But what I'm saying about JJ Redick is, let me finish.
Nobody than most guys out there.
Nobody got Dickie V riled up like JJ Redick when he played at Duke. Nobody. Dickie V used to go fucking insane for Redick. Bro.
Let me finish this segment. Here. All I wanted to say was this guy, I loved him. I loved him at Duke, and I don't like Duke. I fucking hate Duke, but I loved him at Duke. I loved him when he played all throughout the league. But the fact that he championed himself as this podcaster, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get the real scoop on the players. I'm going to be the guy who's still playing, and I'm going to get the scoop on all the players. And then he starts going out on interviews for being a head coach. He just seemed to sell out on everything I thought that made him great. And I'm just sick of him. He's totally sold out. Jet,
you know what his move? You know what? No, I agree. I don't say he's sold out. I like him, but the holier than thou that I hear, you know what his move is? He calls you by your first name to set the tone. He'll be like Stephen A, and then he'll just lecture him on some political issue. So I hear that. I do hear that. I do
like a guy who went to Duke. He speaks like a guy who fucking knows more than you. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's time for the viewer questions.
He did go to Duke.
I can't believe you're defending this guy.
I just don't know, how we're going to jump all over JJ. Why? Pat McAfee's doing the same
thing,
in
one place and he's ending in another. You can
Is McAfee not doing the same thing? Is Pat McAfee not doing the same thing?
I almost sold McAfee was almost my problem of the week.
Wow. Oh, okay. Then that's fair. Okay, I respect that. I respect that.
All right.
Okay, I respect that because I was going to say McAfee's basically done the same fucking thing.
Correct.
You're a punter, bro. You're a punter. Take it easy. I understand you were a great punter. You were a great punter. Not everybody could punt the football. I get it. You were great. But come on now. Come on now. Pat McAfee, you would think is like they hold him in the same breath as like Peyton fucking Manning. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.
No way.
Yes, they do, Joe. They treat him like he was an NFL Hall of Famer. I mean, he's an
entertainer. It's what.
Yes, that's what he is, and let's end it at that. Yes, he is, and he's very good at that.
And he's excellent.
And he's a great punter too. He's a great punter.
Plus, he's really good friends with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh well, that's important.
Geez. Okay, viewer question week. Well, this first one, let's not touch on it too much, but maybe give us a brief thing because I'm sure you'll go over it in the Brilliant Dumb show. But how long did it take you boys, just briefly, to get over the festivities of last week? Audi Club, crazy, all that. Mikey V, let's start with you.
I'm still not over it. Not over it. I woke up yesterday. I was still like anxiety riddled from everything from the whole weekend, just so much. Today I finally went back to the gym, so that got me somewhat regulated. But it took yesterday. So yesterday was Monday. So, we went on Saturday, so it took me like a full 2 days to feel somewhat.
Like if you try taking a flight the day after, a cross-country flight.
Always got to one up you, Mikey V. He's
two rows away from being at the back of the bus.
Well, Mikey V, try taking a bullet through the fucking brain, dude.
Did they fuck you again with your seat?
50K was my seat. Yeah. The plane had 53 seats.
Oh.
If that ain't a bang job, I don't know what is.
Yeah, you just can't catch a break on these.
I am like I don't know. I must be like the number one fucking guy they're targeting right now because I just couldn't upgrade my seat, couldn't do anything. Why couldn't you upgrade the seat? Why? Yeah, I wasn't able to. Everything was taken.
Why don't you just book first class? Why?
Well, Fat Prez,
that's a question.
Does all our things, and also once you're booked, United. That's why he sold them last week. United bangs you. United
you can't change.
United is a problem. I will.
It is. I sold them for the right reasons.
Yeah, you did. You did. Jet, how are you recovering from last week, man?
Surprisingly pretty good.
You look great, Jet.
I think we just kept it moving. I'll tell you, the worst I was Thursday night before the Breezy Invitational. And I was a little concerned that I wasn't going to make it through Breezy, but we made it through fun. I'll tell you, Billy's was electric, though. That was the bus ride to Billy's. I was pretty hammered, but I don't know. I just kept it. I feel fine. I recovered pretty easily.
Yeah.
Billy's was showing.
Billy's is great.
Billy's was showing Jet a lot of love.
That's pretty much why
I heard you got a lot of love, Billy's.
And I'll tell you what, Tick, if you were there would have been some love for the Tick.
Oh yeah, Tick, you would have been taking a lot of pictures.
I probably wouldn't hold. Yeah, I'm used to holding the camera, Joe.
No, I don't mean taking them. I mean you would have been in them.
All right, our last viewer question, then we'll get out of here. Comes from Kate. That last one's from Brandon. This one's from Cade. We already sort of touched on this, but give us one. Everyone give one pick for top 5 finish of the U.S. Open. One. Just give us one name for top 5. Doesn't have to be the winner, just the top 5. Joe, we'll start with you.
I'll give Max Homa as my pick to win it all.
Mikey V?
BK.
I can't wait to watch how this wager unfolds. Let me tell you.
Okay. Jet, who you got?
I'll ride the Koepka train until I die, man.
I don't want to just give I don't want to give I'm trying to think of like a long shot. Maybe Patrick Cantlay. Not that he's a long shot, but he's just not so classic.
Yeah, you love chalk, so you love saying.
Okay, you know what? Ricky Fowler.
Wow!
Whoa!
I love Ricky.
He's trending too, man.
I like Ricky Fowler, man.
He can't put 3 rounds together, let alone 4. But after the second round, he'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll go with Jason Day. I think Jason Day is going to be a top 5 guy. I think Jason Day is going to be a top guy.
I said Jason Day, Tick.
Did
you know who I'll give to? I'll give Jordan Spieth. I think Jordan Spieth has a good tournament.
It was one guy, but all right, Joey D now has 2 guys.
Yeah. Just one guy now.
No, because Homa was my pick. Homa was my pick to win it all, so I feel like I'm just doubled down on that. Like that's
sure. Sure. Okay. All right, well, that was our viewer questions. And that's another episode of the Sportsman, quite frankly. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you do that on the YouTube. Make sure you do that on the Instagram. Send your questions on the Instagram. Mr. Anderson's going to run through all of that. That's how you get questions on the show, and we're going to answer that. It's another great one, boys. That's the Jet. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see him again. That's his second time on the show.
Absolute pleasure.
Absolute.
Yeah, we need the Jet more often.
Yeah, we do.
This guy's a sportsman through and through, man.
He is
really am.
a true sportsman. A true sportsman.
That's what I
The
was
full
always
sport.
a sportsman.
It was, Jet.
That is Joey D down there in the left-hand corner. That is Mikey V down below me, and I'm the big ticket. We are the Sportsmen, guys. Till next week, folks.